Ready?
Oh, echo.
The dolphin.
Welcome to
Echo.
Welcome to Rhythm and Pixels. This is a video game music podcast, episode 18-3. My name is Rob Nichols.
Echo.
Rob Nichols Arpeggio.
Arpeggio.
Rob Arpeggio.
Nichols.
Hey.
And I'm Purnell.
Every week we hang out and we listen to great video game music of all generations and all consoles.
All timelines, as long as we put the music back where it belongs before it splits off into an alternate timeline.
Exactly, yeah. It's on loan. It's like a library, the Time Library.
Timeberry?
Timeberry.
Tonberry. Oh, I love Tonberries.
The Tonberries?
Yes, I don't know
Which ones were the Tonberries? Are the ones that had like the little knife and they came at you? And
Yeah, the shiving tadpoles.
in Final Fantasy, shiving tadpoles.
Those things were brutal. And to this
then they
day,
turn into a murderous frog when they're older.
I gotta say, from an RPG perspective, I don't think there's been a creepier monster to exist than the Tonberry. Like games, I mean, you've got games like the Shadow Hearts games and like other horror-themed RPGs where they go out of the way like, here's a monster whose eyeballs are falling out. But there's something to be said about just the fact that the Tonberry looks so unassuming and unconcerned.
Oh, you have eyeballs falling out. Yeah, well, I have a tadpole with a knife.
And a lantern. Don't forget the lantern.
And the lantern,
He's on his way to the mines.
Slowly walking towards you.
You think he's just passing by, and then he just stops and stabs you in the kneecap and kills you. Like, I thought we were friends. And then you just tip over, and he's like, I don't understand. This guy is just cruel. But the Tonberry, if anybody's got an alternative, I'd love to hear it, because right now, I think Rob agrees.
We're looking for we were looking for alternative Tonberries.
Yes, creepiest monster in RPGs.
Need more Tonberries.
Yes.
We're running out.
We're low on Tonberry.
Hold on, I gotta work, gotta tweak on these graphics. I'm just tightening up these Tonberry graphics.
Oh, God, don't even say it, because that just makes me think Final Fantasy 16 is going to have like this jacked, buff Tonberry who's not carrying a knife, he's carrying a machete. That's why he's carrying a Buster Sword. And he's just like sauntering up like, yeah, I'm going to cut you. What you going to do about it?
It's a Tonberry Muso game, but it's just
Don't you dare.
You are the Tonberry.
That would be the most... If Muso games aren't bland enough, that would be the most ultra bland Muso game.
Just saying it, dude.
Can you just imagine, like, we need to get to the other side of the map, and Tonberry's just tiptoeing across the map, just stabbing guys as they run up to him, like, stab, 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 stab. Like, it would be the most slow-paced, yet also overpowered Muso game to ever exist.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it's funny, like... We usually see each other like a couple times over the weekend, but we didn't this weekend. So I feel like I haven't seen you in like weeks.
It's been forever.
But it was just last week we did the live streamed episode, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was really good. That's on YouTube now. You can go check that out, youtube.com/rhythmandpixels. Just going to say that one more time. We have like 700 subscribers. I don't know what they're watching.
Music.
It's fine, yeah. They're watching the music.
And I keep telling myself, I'm going to start recording statements. I'm going to start recording statements, but then I never sit down to record footage to go over the statements, so I haven't done it.
Oh, yeah.
But like...
Well, we can do that. We can do that together sometime.
That'd be fun.
I can help. Yeah, I can help with that.
At least to get the ball rolling.
You're not alone, Purnell.
Well, and that's in some countries.
But unless.
We're
not doing that again.
But so, have you been playing anything as of late? Anything wacky-tacky?
I haven't been playing anything.
You were playing Tetris Effect.
I know. I sat down on the couch and I was thinking to myself, why? I haven't been playing anything. I did a couple of Gungeon runs, and I got to the 5th floor twice trying to get the TV there. Failed miserably. But no, I haven't really been playing anything at all. I'm trying to think of like what I want to play. I haven't been making time for. I feel like I haven't been playing enough DDR. Like 2 times a week isn't enough. So that's the problem now. Is like I'm so obsessed, it's just not enough. What should I play? Tell me.
Persona 5.
Persona 5.
No, it's hard to say because on one hand I'm like,
what else should I play?
Persona 5 Royale.
Persona 5
Royal.
Oh, Royale.
Yeah, when that comes out.
So it's like it's me against 100 other people playing Persona?
No. God, that would be... No. I'm trying. I wish I could think of something else right now, but my mind is aloof of, like, recommendations. Like, I'm just jumping around. I'm still trying to play through Trails in the Sky, but I keep putting it off for other games.
Yeah, I should... I know was doing the replay of Final Fantasy X. We got to we're just about the very end of that, and I'm looking forward to the part where it's just like collecting things and grinding and just looking for all the hidden stuff because that's fun. I enjoy that. But I don't know if I want to get into another RPG or if I want to get into like a weird like indie style game. You know?
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe by next episode I can like have like a whole table of them. Like, here's the 25 games you haven't played.
That'd be the next episode. Games Rob should play.
Actually, there you go. Write that down.
Yeah. Everyone write in. Facebook and rhythmandpixels on hotmail.com.
Admittedly, yes.
What should I play?
Because if you don't, I'll just pick all of them, and that'll be the episode. It would be a lopsided one because that would mean that every pick would be mine. But then the alternative could be an episode where every pick is Rob. So I don't know. I guess it's possible. But
I see, and then I have to play one of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Caveat there.
But there has to be some kind of like not just a reward, but like a risk system.
The reward is you have fun.
No, I know. But if I don't do it, I need like some kind of. I need to be punished somehow, right? Like,
yeah, you probably have to go like wear a sailor suit to work or something.
I have to give you $5 or something.
Oh, I like money. Yeah,
you want to do that?
Yeah, if you don't play the game, I get paid. Deal. So sold.
We should do that. Okay, so next episode, we decide what I'm going to play, and if I don't play it, I owe Pernell money.
Yes. So
because it's safer than owing our listeners money.
That's right. So by all means, get real creative.
Gonna do it.
Like I said,
this is what people do when they feel like they need to exercise, but they don't. They set up like those things where it's like, oh, if I don't exercise this week, I have to put $10 into a charity or something.
Yeah.
For me, it's like if I'm not gonna play video games, I'm gonna give money to Pernell.
That's right. I am the best charity.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. It's just you're keeping me honest.
Better believe it.
That's right.
Of course, the downside for my time is like, what happens if Pernell's in play? He'll have to go to the gym 5 times a week instead of 3.
If you get a game over, you have to do 20 sit-ups.
Ooh.
That kind of thing. You know,
it'll be heavy.
Set up like a little list. Play Celeste, and it's like how many?
Well, that game doesn't have a game over.
Yeah, there's no game over. Just deaths. Yeah.
So I'd be safe.
Anyway, talking about Celeste, we're doing one more favorites episode.
Yes, because
before we get into the craziness of the Rhythm and Pixels universe.
It was originally going to be if we don't get enough suggestions for the Patreon, but then once we did, it was like, well, no point in letting a good topic go to waste.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. So this is platformers.
Yes, in other words, the topic that will not make everyone happy,
right.
Not even close.
Yes.
But it's a noble effort to try. And it's a good excuse to get some good tracks played and some good games mentioned.
Yeah, I picked some ones I know I played in the past.
I know one of them is going to be Celeste, but I am curious
classics.
What
I know, but like which track is it going to be? There's so many good, so much good music in that. Oh, I want to say there's Lena Raine has a new. Lena Raine, the composer of Celeste, has a new album that just got released.
Oh,
she released it on her own. No, I think it got released with Chiptunes equals Win.
Oh, Chiptune Win.
Chiptune Win. They're that, or they're just like promoting it too because they like it also. But it's a really chilled out synth album. It's called One Knowing, and it's really good.
Friend/listener TF is a ridiculously huge fan of Chiptune equals Win. Like he references it and posts about it all the time.
There's some good stuff on there. But yeah, if you like the music of like the really chilled music of Celeste, that's that whole album. It's a lot like that. She's really good.
There it is.
Really impressed.
See,
awesome stuff.
See, now I'm wondering, like, so I know about Celeste.
Yeah.
What were the other 2 to 3 be? I don't even know. But like,
of what my top platformers?
Yes.
You know one.
Well, I already guessed it.
Yeah. So but we'll get there. I want to end on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. All right.
I have 5 tracks too. we about to junk in for that.
No, okay. So you start us off then.
All right. Here's a track that I've wanted to get on the show ever since I very first heard it.
Okay.
And it might not even be truly considered a platformer, but I'll deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is from an actual recent game. It's from the game called Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. And the track is just called Fields. And it's composed by Keiki Kobayashi. Welcome back. You're listening to Wonder Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. Track title is Just Fields. Just Fields.
Just Fields.
Just
Not green fields.
No greenery here. Just Fields, baby. Composed by Keiki Kobayashi. So,
ooh, I love this song, man.
Odd thing about this is that if this game hadn't come out, then Dragon's Curse or Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap would have easily fit this slot. But this game was my favorite game of 2018, and the music in it is just phenomenal to go along with it.
This is great. It's like a mix between Katamari Damacy and something else.
I honestly don't even know how to describe it. It
feels really good.
Yes,
I
that's
love
it.
The part at the very end where the guitar solo starts playing, but everything starts to swell up around it. That's really cool.
Like this track, I heard it for the first time, and I loved it so much that I actually hooked my Switch up and recorded the audio off the game just so I could have it.
Oh,
this
nice.
was before it was even on the internet to look for. I was like, I need to have this track now.
You gotta have it somewhere, yeah.
So I went and grabbed it, recorded it, and then looped it. And like you said, it made me feel really good just to hear it. Like, it made me think about the idea of, like, as goofy as this may sound,
it's fine, yeah.
actually going off on some sort of adventure. Even like a grown man adventure. Like, okay, I'm going to just spend the day going down to the valley just to explore this park or this wilderness. And you just carry around a long stick just in case something jumps out of the bushes. You got to fight it off. So got your little stick on your back.
It's adventure. It's a very adventure-y music, but it's also really aspirational. You know, it feels like
I can do this.
Yeah, wants you to go out and do the things today. Do all the things you're going to do. And
I've played this at work when I need to push myself to complete a task.
Oh God, if I would listen to this like in my most darkest times, I would listen to this music. This is beautiful.
It does the job, and it's amazing because the game is recent enough that you would think it would have been in some, like, you know, in people's ears, people talking about, but I never hear anybody even talk about it, and it drives me nuts because it's so freaking good.
That's great.
It's so good. The game is fantastic.
Does this play like a side scroller, or is this like one of those RPG typey games?
It's a side scroller, so the idea, the story, I don't care about. It's goofy, it's nonsense, but ultimately the premise is you're going around looking for 6 sacred orbs to do a thing. You know how that goes.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But
of course. You gotta get the orbs, son.
The orbs are what makes things happen. And they're all scattered across the world, which means you go to different regions to get each orb. And each time you collect an orb, you get a new monster form as a side effect. So you start out as just a human, you get cursed and become a pig, and the pig is like a pirate pig.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pig illustration, and I gotta say, I'm into that.
It's funny enough, he's an homage to the vendor design for from Dragon's Curse, because the vendor in Dragon's Curse is the pig with an eye patch.
I love him.
So
he looks so like intense too. He's like, I'm going to win the battle.
Or just make a lot of money.
I lost this eye in the war with the monster boy.
But it's just so cool. Like, and every time you get a new orb, you get like the lion. The lion can like dash and break stuff. Frog's tongue can like grapple onto things. So it's like, and it just creates, every time you get a new monster form, it creates new opportunities for platforming puzzles. So you might have to use the lion to dash across a collapsing platform, then transform into the frog midair to grapple onto a pole.
Oh, that's cool.
Swing across,
I
and
like
then you
that.
have to use like the dragon and just kind of glide across to the landing spot after you grapple.
Awesome. This is on everything, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is the next game I play. That sounds like fun.
It should be. It's really good.
I love platformers, man.
This game, I would put this. There, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
I'd put this over P5 as a recommendation.
Okay.
Easily.
That's pretty cool.
Easily.
I'll look at that then. With music like this, it's a strong contender for a game I might play sometime this year.
This could just end up on the show for next week. Games Rob should play. Yeah, so I can play a second track. But
I'd be into that. If it's more like high good quality. Who else is on the soundtrack? I saw Motoi Sakuraba.
Yep.
Ooh.
I think he actually did the final boss track.
No kidding.
Baller.
Yeah.
There's actually another guy I'm familiar with that did a track from this. It was either, I'm trying to remember if it was either Matt Creamer or Viking Guitar. It was one of the two that did a track on this game. We were really excited about it. I got to double check though. They did like the ending theme or the final boss theme. One of the
that'd be amazing.
No, that's what it was. It was Matt Creamer, and he did. There's a segment towards the end of the game that does this weird like flip between like 16-bit or 8-bit and 32-bit.
Yeah.
And his version, he does like a portion of that.
Oh, okay. So
he was like really excited. Like, it's finally in the game. I can tell people about it.
He kind of does like music like throughout the ages.
Yeah, because you have to switch between the two areas. Whether it's like, okay, I'm on the retro side. Now I'm on the non-retro side.
All right. Well, I'm going to write that down too. A Matt Creamer episode is going to be important. Maybe we can get him involved.
But that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Because he's the guy that did that bloody hell.
Are you still playing that?
Yes, I still play Match Lane.
That's fine. I'm playing a game called Alpha Bears, and it's like Scrabble, not Scrabble. It's like Boggle, and you got to find the letters that match to make more bears. Ooh. And I put money in it already to get rid of the ads, but like it still does that thing where it's like, okay, you can do this, but you need higher level bears. So you got to level up your bears first. Do you want to spend $4 to level up your bears faster? I'm like, no.
That's the journey.
First of all, like the best part about the game is the leveling up the bears is just the normal game anyway. And when I turn it on, that's all I want to play. So it's like perfect.
It's all busy work.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I get to make more words.
Like in Matchland, it's like, hey, do you want to spend money to unlock these statues to get these characters? Like, nah, I'll just keep farming fruit at the stand until I find the guy in the shop, and I'll just pay for it.
What I like is that you get bonuses for, like, on certain days of the week for using certain suffixes and prefixes. Ooh. So I'm into that. I'm really down with that.
So what you guys are hearing is that we are suckers for certain mobile games that make you pay, but we won't pay.
But yeah, exactly. That's the mobile.
That's the mobile credo.
Yeah, that's how it works, man. All right, so my first game, I'm going to go old school. I'm kicking it old school.
Young man.
I'm going back to one of my all-time favorites, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Ice Cap Zone?
No, this is called...
One more. Not Marble. No, Marble was the first game. Third Zone.
Third Zone. Is it the third
zone?
The name
is killing me right now.
I don't remember the name.
Angel Island, Hydrosity, and there was like a freaking hilly...
Hilltop?
No, it wasn't Hilltop. That was 2.
Yeah.
It's killing me that I can't remember.
I almost picked Sonic the Hedgehog 2 because I think I spent the most amount of time playing that, but I really love 3. And I think like for me, like this is the height of Sonic the Hedgehog.
It is.
For me. I love it. So
I agree.
This is the track. I played a track that I haven't really heard a whole lot, but it's really good. This is called Chrome Gadget.
Oh, it's from the racing stages.
It's one of the Versus racing stages.
Yeah, buddy.
It's for the Sega Genesis, composed by, we're not sure on this one, because an official OST was never released, famously. So I'm going to say Howard Drawson, maybe.
Well, I might look for that, but I'm also going to see what that level is. I can't seem to remember the name of
it. Oh, yeah, cool. So, yeah, Chrome Gadget it looks like the Death Egg Zone, but it's like a race.
Marble Garden.
That's a good song.
I kept, in that worst part, I actually said Marble, but I was starting to confuse it with Marble Zone from Sonic 1.
I wasn't going to remember the name. Don't worry about it.
There's too many gardens and there's too much marble in the Sonic universe.
Yeah, I guess it's because you can roll things faster on it. Anyway, it's a shorter track. This is the Chrome Gadget. This is Chrome Gadget from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for the Sega Genesis. This is Chrome Gadget from the game Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for the Sega Genesis. Composed by maybe Howard Drawson, maybe Jun Sonoe.
It could be a number of folks.
It could be many of them. But this is the first Sonic the Hedgehog game with Jun Sonoe on as a credited composer. But again, no official soundtrack was released, so the only songs that we know were composed by certain composers think Sega was like, yeah, they worked on this. Yeah, they worked on this. Michael Jackson and I forget the name of his collaborator, had a hand in these tracks, like Ice Cap Zone and stuff like that. But this one was not listed, so I'm not sure.
And it's a shame, too, because I'm actually kind of glad. And honestly, dang near...
It's all right.
That's okay. Darn near every track from the 2-player racing mode is gold.
So good.
And yet, due to the fact that they're solely relegated to the 2-player racing mode, I rarely to ever heard them.
I know.
And you never hear people talk about them either. Like, if people are talking about the OST to Sonic 3, it's always a single-player mode zone.
Yeah, you would think for the Versus mode, they could have just done like a really short loop, like a super short, like maybe like a bonus stage kind of thing. But this is a fully realized song. There's an A section, a B section. There's a little bridge at the end, and it goes up a key at the very end.
And it's funny
it sounds
because
so good.
I'm glad that they did this. Like, because if they didn't do that, it'd have nothing. So I'm glad they did this, but it makes me wish that these tracks got their due. Like, even if there were more remixes in, like, say, Sonic Generations. Like, I know there was a Balloon Park remix in Sonic Generations. Balloon Park was another one of the 2-player races in this game. But aside from that, I don't think there's any other moments where they say, hey, let's give some due to these underappreciated tunes. Give them another shot. Or heck, imagine they just said, hey, we're going to make Sonic Generations 2. Listen up, Sega.
Yeah.
Make a Sonic Generations 2, not Sonic Forces. God, that was a terrible idea.
Oh, my God. That was the where you can like make your own like persona, right?
Yeah, it was such an insult.
It's so weird, though.
Sonic Generations came out. It was probably the best thing that Sonic has had since Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And because this was actually, I think this was before. Yeah, it was before Sonic Mania, so definitely, the best thing. And people were just saying, we want Sonic Generations 2. We want Sonic Generations 2. Listen to us, Sega. We're telling you what we want.
Sonic Generations looks super cool.
It is. Yeah. So then they released this trailer, and it's like the world's going to crap. And Sonic's in trouble, but he needs some help. And then they show Retro Sonic, and he's like, oh my God, it's Sonic Generations 2. People were getting excited. It's like, no, Sonic Forces. And you can make a persona, and you get a grapple. It's like, you're ruining my life, Sega.
I mean, sure. But there's a lot of people who are like, oh, perfect. Finally.
They were. Too bad the game attached to the persona is terrible.
It's so
or just close to not good. Like, I bought it because I wanted to actually own the game that had the music, because the music in the game is solid.
Yeah.
Honestly, Sonic games have never had an issue with music.
I feel, for me, they always go off on a little bit on like the kind of weird emo-y kind of...
No, butt rock at worst. Like, I don't think I ever really hear emo, except for maybe like the some of the concluding, like, I'm going to try hard. But even that's still more like butt rock than anything else.
But I've never really resonated with me as much. Like, this is the Sonic music I know. So for me, Sonic 3... Like, Sonic 2 was... I loved it. I played it... I put so many hours into it as a kid, but I feel like Sonic 3 took everything that they've learned from the last two games and, like, perfected it.
They did. Like, they got the elemental shields, which made it so that you had a purpose to finding certain stuff.
Yeah, the shields were great. Like, all the stages were bigger. The spin dash was back, and it was faster. Like, you could charge it up faster. I think Knuckles was in this one, right?
Yeah, Knuckles. You couldn't control him yet. He was just a guy who was just a jerk.
There was that, and then the soundtrack was huge. And it's like when I was a kid, like this is what I had a Sega Genesis. I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so when I got older and people were like, "Oh yeah, the Genesis," I've never really liked the Genesis music because I always thought it sounded weird. I'm like, you listen to this, I'm like, this is amazing. Like this is
legit.
Like this is what I love about like cool synthesizer like styled music, you know, it's all synthesizers.
I'll mention one thing about Sonic 3 that I like that you didn't catch.
What's that?
Like, Sonic is a weird animal, so he goes fast, and you give him these labyrinthine levels to run through and explore, but I never really felt a concern to look for secrets in those games until Sonic 3, because they hid the bonus worlds in hidden giant rings. So you had to actually go out of your way to figure out where they were tucked away on stages, whereas before it was just get a bunch of rings and then run through a lamppost.
Maybe it was like I was just a bored kid, but I spent a lot of time like on the first two games just trying to find like the boundaries of every stage.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, there was stuff to find. Like, you could, like you say, find the boundaries.
Again, there was nothing like really compelling to go and look for this stuff.
Exactly.
I was like, what's like what's the optimal way to get through this stage? Because, I'm sick and I have like 4 days off from school. That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, you think about it. Sonic 1 and 2 was like, okay, if you went off the beaten path, what would you find? Some extra monitors that would have like some more rings. So now you have 500 instead of 300.
Or maybe another path that just ends in spikes.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing truly awesome. It's just another thing.
What was the name of the second stage in Sonic 2?
Chemical Plant.
Chemical Plants, and that had a lot of different paths. That was fun to explore.
Yeah, but in the end, they always led to rising chemicals.
Right,
so that was frustrating.
It kind of had to. But
death. It led to death.
But
then Sonic 3 was like, now the caches could lead to potentially a different shield, which might be more effective in this area.
Yeah, like the fire shield might be perfect for this, or this is the one that you had like a magnetic shield that pulled in the rings.
The lightning rings, and it was a double jump, so even better. It was like a double jump magnet.
There's a lot of good stuff.
By far the best shield. But then in addition to that, you had the rings. Mm-hmm. So you now care about finding hidden caches. Like, people cared in 1 and 2 just for the heck of it because secrets are secrets. Mm-hmm. But I feel like in this one, secrets genuinely felt like they mattered to locate. Like, I cared more about looking for things.
Did you get the Sonic Knuckles like add-on?
No. I bought Sonic 3, but never bought Sonic and Knuckles, and I didn't even get the chance to play that until Sega Channel let me play it.
I was so into it because you can play Knuckles in like the older games, and so I was like, wait a minute, Knuckles can climb.
And that's how you found the boundaries on stages, right?
Yeah, so I was like, well, yeah, after the fact, I was like, okay, so I can put on Sonic 2 or Sonic 1 and just climb everything and see where it goes until the time runs out. And like, that was fun. Like, that was just fun, Pernell.
It was a cool concept.
It's like climbing a tree. Oh, I got a story. So I was driving home from work yesterday, and traffic got backed up on.
And you found an actual echidna?
No, so traffic was backed up on that 4-lane road, and I looked to my right, and there's a few, there's some houses off the road, and there's just a tree, and just a pair of legs, like hanging,
just dangling from the tree,
dangling from the tree. And there's this woman, clearly the kid's mother, like running around in circles, doesn't know what to do. And I look closer, and the kid is just hanging from a branch, and he's pretty high up.
Sitting or hanging?
Hanging.
Oh,
and those were his feet, like dangling.
That sounds scary, actually.
I'm like, I've been there, buddy.
Hang in there, kitty.
I've been there. Like, keep that grip strength and just go hand over hand to get back to the tree.
No, I would have fallen.
Or just drop. And
I weigh like 200 some pounds. I would have just fallen.
Just drop and bend your knees.
Like but for you,
it's not much of a drop.
That is true. That would be my one saving grace.
So I
aim for your butt.
I for a second there, I thought I should just stop, but there's no shoulder, so I couldn't like safely get out of my car. I was like, I wanted to help that kid. I wanted to get out and be like, I got you.
Did you find yourself at work stricken with how the saga ended?
I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know. I hope he's fine. He's probably just bruised up.
I feel like he has to be, because I would have been on the news if he wasn't.
Yeah, probably. All right, what's your second track?
All right. I'm going to take a shot at this. I feel like I have 5. It sucks because one of these tracks is not going to make the cut, but we'll do this anyway.
All right.
So the next track is going to be from another recent but not too recent game. This game is called Super Meat Boy.
Oh, yeah.
And the track title...
I knew this had to be in this game.
You better believe it.
Episode.
The track title is called Dr. Fetus's Castle, and the composer is Danny Baranovski. Welcome back. You're listening to The Battle of Little Slugger from the game Super Meat Boy, composed by Danny Baranovski.
What's the name of that track, Pernell?
Not Dr. Fetus's Castle.
Right.
That's what.
This is good.
Fun fact, I actually picked Dr. Fetus's Castle on a previous episode.
Yep.
Last-ditch clutch effort. I always have like 20 backups, so this was like easy fix.
That was episode 16-9, The End of the World, which was one of my favorite episodes. I enjoyed that one a lot. Any of those really weird topics.
Oh, yes.
I like a lot.
It makes us dig deep to find some quality cuts.
Man, Meat Boy music, right? So there's 2 soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
Baranovski being the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's perfect for this game. It's designed for this game.
Yes, it's funny because I see a lot of people argue on the internet about people who hate on the other OST is also really good, and I'm like, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying that music is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally listenable and enjoyable for folks. But I gotta say, I heard this first. I loved it the most, and I can't flip that switch. It's like when a game gets released and they do the quote-unquote remastered edition and they just decide that the OST suddenly needed an update or an overhaul because that's what you do in a remaster, I guess. And I'm like, I want the old music. What is this garbage? It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's different, and I didn't want different.
It's true. I almost, when I started to replay, when I played the Final Fantasy X remaster, I almost didn't put the new music on because it sounded different.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to revisit that experience, but I left it on because I felt like they're entirely new arranged tracks for the game. I really wanted to hear them all.
Oh yeah,
so that's cool. But this is I feel like that's an arranged version of that song, and that's not a completely different song.
Yeah, if it's a completely different song, is where you kind of lose it. This I always talk about harp on the Persona 1 remix, how they did that. Well, the original Persona 1 had a variety of composers. One of them was Shoji Meguro, but he didn't have the helm. He was a contributor. And then when they did the remake on the PSP, he helmed the entire thing. So now all of a sudden, most of the music is dancey and his trademark Persona style. I'm like, he does good music, but I don't want him here. Mm-hmm. I like the old stuff. And it ultimately lessened the experience for me. I don't enjoy, even though the game is more complete and there's more content, I just don't like it as much. Yeah.
So, all right. So, Meat Boy, this is one that you've put a lot of hours into.
Oh, mercy, yes.
And I remember when you showed me it, I was actually surprised that this was a style of game that you would be into, because I think of Pernell, I think RPGs and more story-driven stuff, not super difficult platforming that you just retry over and over and over and over again.
This actually was my first foray into the massacre genre of gaming.
It's called massacre?
Massacre.
Huh.
It's a weird name, but I love it.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
So, it was my first foray into it, and I found that there's this perfect formula that factors into it. Very tight platforming where if you die, you cannot blame the controls. It's going to be your own fault.
Right.
Also, retries are quick and effective. The game doesn't even stop.
Yeah, it has to continue. It just goes.
So what ends up happening is it's creepy. It's almost like a human computer effect in that you keep retrying. It's like how you train AI. You just keep trying over and over and over again, and you keep failing, but you don't have time to stop because you get the time to try again immediately.
Yeah.
And you'll slowly start to self-correct yourself.
Yeah.
Until you eventually just magically have a perfect run.
It is. It's like you're training your reflexes. Sometimes I get into a pattern of where I feel like I've started to get in my own head, and I feel like I'm trained into bad habits, and this one section is a bad habit, and I can't get over it. And then passing it is like a fluke, and I'm like, yes, save the game, I'm done for the day.
Yes, and that happens in this bunch. You're like, okay, gotta turn it off. I finally pulled off this horrible Dark World run. So this game, it is, for me, it is the culmination of dang near everything I like about platforming games. It doesn't have power-ups, which is unfortunate. It doesn't have real secrets. The bandages are there, but they're not really secrets. They're just kind of there to grab.
They're like a trophy, almost.
Yeah, they're
like
a trophy. Yeah. But even lacking those things, it hits the core of what I like about platforming to the friggin' letter. Tight, precise jumps. Obstacles you have to dodge. There aren't even really any monsters in this game. There's very few actual living creatures in this game. It's just buzzsaws and fire and
just spikes and just horrible things trying to kill you.
But it's so good.
So good.
So good. And, to this day, I would go back to it because like my friend Mike and I used to play this like religiously. We were constantly butting heads back and forth to get the highest times on the high rank. I even went back to this game like 3 months ago to see how the times look just for nostalgia. And for the record, I beat some of your times. Just for the bird.
You throwing that gauntlet down halfway through the episode?
Better believe it.
That's rough, man.
But like the downside to this game and what kind of hurt it was two things. One, the thing I like to harp on when I talk about this in episodes, which is people who cheat and they use the cheats to affect other people's experiences hurt the game. So people that learn how to cheat the times.
You get these, they cheat the times, and then you look on like the global leaderboards, and it's like, how do you get -4 seconds?
Exactly. And you're like, man, thanks for ruining it for everybody else, fella. But like that hurt it, and then also there was like a moment where the game had trouble like properly logging times. So like you'd like, this is my best score, and then you come back and it's like, where'd my score go?
So it actually didn't like log the time. It wasn't like logging it incorrectly.
Yeah, like now I personally didn't experience that, but I've heard people say it happened. I'm not going to deny it. So it's like, oh, that sucks. But when those things weren't in play, this game was hyper competitive. Like you sit down after work, hard day at the office, like, all right, I'm gonna beat those times. In my whole thing, I would go look at the leaderboard to see which of my friends were at the top and snipe them. Like, I'm going to sit here until I wreck your time and then move on.
You would actually like go and grind out a stage, trying to be like, I'm going to take this.
That time belongs to me.
Oh, I love that.
It felt so good because it's rare I can get that competitive.
Yeah, because one, like that's fun, like that's just fun. And two, that's the most Purnell thing I've ever heard.
I'm gonna grind until I beat you.
Like, this is my goal now, is to destroy whatever you just did, right?
Yes!
That's so funny to me. All right, so my next game is in the same genre. Super tight controls.
Ooh.
Super, super difficult.
Well, I know this is
it's Celeste.
Yeah, that's right.
But with a very different bent on the music and the style of game. So this is a B-side, so it's technically a remix. It's technically a remix of the music. So after you complete the stages, you can go back and play a much, much harder version of the stage with the music remixed by other artists. So this is called the Golden Ridge Golden Feather Mix.
Okay.
The Golden Ridge is an area
the cloudy place, right?
No, it's the spot where you get the feather and you can kind of like go around through spikes.
So I need to get back to that game because I never got there.
It's hard. So I'm pretty sure, this is where you've actually, I can't spoil it. It's a part of the game.
Was a story heavy moment?
It's a very story heavy moment, and it's incredibly hard. Actually, probably like visually and musically one of my favorite stages of the game. Gameplay wise, I was so glad when it was over, and I don't even know how I passed the B-side on this thing. I'm so happy I finished it. But it's called the Golden Feather Mix from the game Celeste, composed by Lena Raine, and this is remixed by the group In Love with a Ghost. And I think you'll like this.
How do you love a ghost?
How
does that work?
This is the Golden Ridge Golden Feather mix from the game Celeste. This was on the PS4 and the Switch and on the computer, a bunch of places.
Amiga.
And it was originally composed by Lena Raine and remixed by In Love with a Ghost. They're a French chiptune.
How do you do that?
How do I do what?
How do you love a ghost?
How do you? I feel like it's bad. Like it's not. It's going to be really hard to get it reciprocated.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And the attempts would be scary.
All right. So me and Pernell were talking about in Celeste there are strawberries that you can get in the game, but they don't do anything for you. It's just you get strawberries and
You feel good for getting
it doesn't
them.
unlock anything. It's just like bragging rights, right? And then there's the crystal hearts, the regular hearts, and then there's like a golden heart for completing a seaside, which is there's 5 or 6 seasides, which I'm never going to get to. And there's one golden strawberry in the game, only one.
I just sworn you said there was one for beating you get a golden strawberry for beating an entire stage without ever dying.
And I don't think I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's only one, and it's on the very first. And this is probably why, because it's on the very first stage. And you have to not dash.
Oh wow!
So because you know how some of the strawberries have wings on them, and it means that if you dash, it floats away. And so at the very very end of the stage, there's a golden strawberry with wings.
So it would have flown away if you dashed at any point.
Exactly. If at any point you dash, it'll fly away and you'll never get it. So you have to get through the entire first world without dashing.
Which is funny in and of itself because unless someone told you, there's no indication that it's there.
I watched a YouTube playthrough and then someone was like, they were just like, hey, you know what? I wonder if I could just do it. I wonder if it's possible to do it without dashing. And they finished it and they got to the end and they were like, oh my God, there's a thing for that. Because of course there is.
That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I tried it. There's like 2 or 3 jumps that are super hard. One is called they actually named them. Like one of them is called the phone tower jump. There's like one section where there's like phone lines, and it's just so hard to get to. Where it's just a huge, like, imagine doing like the wall jump except that it kind of comes out. You know, so you have to really, really time your jump.
Jump, go down as you fall and get a dash up at an angle.
So you're grabbing the edge. And there's actually parts where if there's like just one level ground and there's spikes sticking out from it, technically there's still a couple pixels of ledge there.
Whoa.
So there's still areas you can hang on to, like on the sides of spikes. I never got good enough to be able to grab onto the sides of spikes. So watching playthroughs of this is way impressive, but Celeste is up there as like probably one of my favorite games of all time.
And fun fact, it is technically a massacre. And
yeah, that's right, because you just die over and over again. But it's all part of like the learning of getting through it. And I was telling Pernell before we started the game is that it's just so different in that the music is so chill. Like for the most part, the music is so chill for being so hard. And I feel like that really adds to the experience. Not that it's just chill, but it makes me feel contemplative and think about it. Yeah, it just sends me out. It puts me like in a really deep, focused state.
A state of zenstration.
Zenstration. The doctor told me I had to stop playing because all the zenstration was hard on my heart.
No.
Yeah. You're like, Rob, don't make that joke.
Don't make that
joke. It's a fine joke.
It's adequate.
It was
adequate.
It wasn't a good joke. It wasn't. It was.
It was a moderately fine.
It was okay joke. But yeah, so I played a lot of Celeste music on the show, but there's still so much because of the remixed B-sides. I was hoping the C-sides had remixes too, but it doesn't. It just plays the original track.
Oh,
which is a shame, but that's okay.
That would have been a nice reward for getting that far.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. It's so much. It's so much to get to that point that I feel like I've reached the limits of my skill.
So I gotta ask though, before we change topics here. So Massacre, as we know, is all about brutal platforming, struggling,
right?
Beating your head into the wall till you succeed.
Masochist and core.
Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't realize that this would be a kind of thing that you would be into, and yet Celeste clicked for you in a way that like very few games do. Like it's up there with the Dance Dance Revolution and Street Fighter for you.
Yeah.
What was the hook?
I think. Okay, it was a couple things. One, it was the timing was right. I was looking for a game like this. I feel like I was looking for a cool indie platformer. I feel like the straining difficulty of getting through something like this is very similar to like DDR, where it's like you're just grinding out like the same super hard stuff. You don't think you'll ever get that good again. You don't think you'll ever get that good, and then suddenly like you pass another level. You know, you're like, oh, this was really hard before. Now I can do it. So like that appeals to me, and I think it's just the characters and the writing and the music
and the voices.
Yeah, I love the little voices, the way they talk. Like it's not like the Sims talk, but like they do have that little like
closer to the Muppet adults, or sorry, the Peanut adults.
Yeah. Like very, very in between, like the trombone or trumpet, whatever, of like the Peanuts. And when you play like an old NES game, and like it goes.
Yes.
But no, I love the idea of climbing the mountain, of her trying to challenge herself, and she's fighting this depression, and then it becomes a thing, and it follows her around. And then they team up, and she becomes a whole person, and they work together. I love it. It's so good. It's great. And then, the people she meets along the way. It's so nice. It's so nice and so hard.
And yet she somehow can dash in midair.
Yeah, well, she learns early on how to dash.
In midair.
And that's a metaphor for air dashing. Of course.
Suddenly it all makes sense.
It all makes sense now. Okay, so what's your next track?
Well, I have to pick this too. If we're talking about my favorite platformers, God, this is going to be such a weird episode and very divisive, I wager, with listeners.
I mean, these might not be people's favorites. I'm sure not. There's lots of classics. I could have went Super Mario 2. I almost did.
Oh, easily.
Because I love that game.
But I can't not reference these games, and this one is no different. So this track, watching this will be something I picked in the previous episode. It is Mechanical Dragon from the game Rayman Legends, composed by Christophe, Heral, and Billy Martin.
I started typing in Raymond.
Raymond Legends.
Everyone loves Raymond. Is that no?
Everyone loves Raymond's Legends.
Is that the name of it? Oh, I got it in my mind.
That was the show.
I was thinking of Mr. Cooper, hanging with Mr.
So you took Rayman to Raymond, who does have a show.
Yes.
And then came up with a completely irrelevant, unrelated show.
I want to watch that show again. Anyway, let's continue on. So, everyone loves Raymond Legends.
Mechanical Dragon.
Mechanical Dragon? That's all I got.
Welcome back. You just listened to Mechanical Dragon from the game Rayman Legends, composed by Christophe, Heral, and Billy Martin. So, fun fact here. I know the last track I picked from Super Meat Boy, I said Super Meat Boy was probably one of the it's probably like the perfect platformer, as in that it has all the elements that make me love platformers, or most of them.
Rayman.
But then Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins, that's also those are the perfect platformer.
Every Purnell loves Raymond's.
You better believe they do. It's the only issue that Rayman Legends even has is there's a level type that I feel breaks up the momentum of the game. But aside from that, it is probably perfection in platforming. Like, every level is a joy to play, and it's got a rhythm to it. Like, you'll start, like, for example, you know how platform games always have like a run button where you can press it and you start running.
Yeah, the B button in Super Mario.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, like in Super Mario Brothers, I can't not run. If I'm not running, I'm doing something wrong. Maybe if I'm doing some finesse, that's
gotta
one
hold
thing.
that down, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this game also has a run button, and also, I never let up on the run.
Right.
I have to run the entire time.
Of course.
But I feel like the game is almost built with that in mind. Like,
oh, it's like, hey, if you hold this run button down, like, you can get through it.
yeah, you'll feel the momentum. Like, when you're holding it and you're running, and you jump and you smack a guy, and you keep moving. It's like, you can genuinely just run through stages nonstop and just keep that flow going, and the joy along with it. And there's even levels that are tailored around music, where when you play them, they tell you hold the run button while you do it, because it ends up being a chase level, because you're running to the music and everything is to the beat. So you jump, you have to hit this guy, and when you hit him, that attack is to the beat of the song. So it's like boom, drum.
So this part in this music here, where it's like plunk, pink.
Unfortunately, I wish this track did that, but what this track is
first, yeah, go ahead.
I'll go to the other thing in a second, so I should talk about this track itself.
Yeah.
So this is the theme to one of the boss levels in the game.
Okay.
The level was called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but not the Jules Verne ripoff. It's like a weird, funny version of it.
Sure.
So it starts out, you're running through this like underwater lab, and the music is that low-key start off. And then this giant mechanical dragon shows up and spirals onto the screen, and you have to fight it a little bit. And when you beat that first form, he runs away, and then the next phase of it kicks in while like water's starting to flow into the lab, and you're like running through like breaking pipes.
So the different sections of this music, because this music is pretty modular, so the different sections of this music are the different things that are happening all on the stage?
Yes, as you go to different sections of the stage, the music changes tempo.
Love
and
it.
At the very, very end, when the boss is ready to go for the final form, the final version of the track kicks in.
Is that with the head of the electric guitar?
Yes, this part right here.
Yeah,
How convenient. But this part kicks in at the very end of the fight, and it's actually a really cool fight, because like, at this point, like, you're hovering in the air, and there's no platform to stand on. The dragon's like blasting lasers on the screen, so you have to swim up in the air to hide behind walls while he's blasting lasers everywhere. So you have to balance your like float, so you're like just behind it, but not too high and not too low.
You gotta show me Rayman sometime. I've never played a Rayman game.
Oh my god, yeah, these games. I actually almost bought this for the Switch recently. I have it for the Wii U, because that's what it was originally released for. That was what it was designed for, actually. And I almost repurchased it for the Switch after picking this track. I was like, I just want to play it again on a modern system. But it's just so good. And then, like I said, I'll even show you before I leave. We can boot up one of the levels on YouTube, because it would do the trick.
Yeah.
But those levels where they're to the beat of the song, they're so
really
good.
Cool.
It's like, I wish... I realize it would be a very short-lived game, but I wish there was a game that was nothing but music platforming stages, because Rayman Legends put me onto that in a hardcore way. It's just... Think about, you're listening to this show right now. We're talking about how much we love game music.
Okay, this reminds me, and what really gets me is the percussion, like the drums in this song. There's a game that's been published. I forget the developer, but it's been published by Devolver, called Ape Out.
Oh, the game with the escaped gorilla.
Yeah, so I watched some gameplay of that. I didn't realize like how cinematic that game is. Like, there is music constantly changing pace with how you play the game.
Really?
And when, like, there's guards coming, because you're an ape escaping like a prison or something. When the guards coming after you, and you smack them and throw them against walls, like it's like, bling, bang, bang. It's you would love it.
So a guard hitting the wall is like a drum beat.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like the whole time, there's like drum fills and stuff going on as you're running around halls and hiding. It's really cool.
I need to look into that.
Yeah, it looks really neat.
I know it's on the Switch, so.
Yeah, it's on a bunch. I think it's on a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I think it's incredibly violent. I think you'll like it.
That's the thing to tell listeners. It's such a violent game. Pernell, you'll love it.
I would say like, oh man, I would say like for me, like I would, oh, it's violent, it's fun, but the new Mortal Kombat, it almost turns my stomach. It's so violent. Like it's so comedically violent. I feel like it hasn't gone over the comedic edge yet for me. I'm like, it's too much.
There's something to be said
about that.
too.
That's too much.
And honestly, I agree.
Yeah.
Like whether it's sex or violence in games, there are caps.
There are thresholds, and I understand. I realize it's a personal preference.
Oh, of course.
But there's a threshold for me where Mortal Kombat, like even back in 10 or whatever, people getting ripped in half. It's like, wait a minute, well, what happened?
But think about it, is like, and that's the thing. It's all thresholds. Like to give you an example, I feel like this is humorous enough to mention. I was talking to you about this when I first got here, actually. So I recently reviewed a game called Mo Chronicles. It just released on the Switch. For the record, if you're under 18, don't look this game up. I'm just going to point that out.
Moe Chronicles?
Moe Chronicles, like Moe, like that whole anime trope or whatever.
That's right.
So, but again, if you're under 18, don't look this game up. Anyway, when it was time to review the game, I did not mince words. I was very blunt. I did not sugarcoat anything. To the point where I would not have been surprised if the company who gave us the game stopped giving us codes.
Because you were like...
Because I was blunt. Very blunt, in a way that I don't think any other reviewer typically tends to be when they talk about this game. So, the thing that made it the most hilarious, though, is when it was done. In the end, I recommended the game, but said, under these conditions.
I recommend this game with an asterisk.
Like 5 asterisks.
a few asterisks right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, like, at the beginning of the episode, prior to the review, we were talking about old children's toys. Starting with Pogs.
Oh, that's right.
And then it led into Tech Deck.
About Tech Deck.
Tech Deck boards.
Tech Deck.
And I was trash talking to live in daylights out of Tech Deck.
Finger skateboarding.
It's just...
skateboarding on your fingers, but like not like a handstand.
We're talking triple Lindy somersault hop with your fingers. Like... And now, don't get me wrong, as you all know, I'm whatever people like to do.
Triple Lindy hop. I just like that just sunk in. I'm gonna be laying in bed tonight, being like, "What did Pernell say?"
Lindy hop. Like I get people like what they like, and I'll never knock that.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, we're both like very similar on that, but we were to the point where we were watching like YouTube videos of like how to ollie with your fingers, and we're like,
"Wow, that's a trick I'll never try to do."
That's like my mom won't let me skateboard.
But like the guy behind the company listened to that episode. Because I'm assuming they check these shows sometimes to make sure we're not like...
Of the Moe game company.
Yeah, the company that did the game listened to the episode that we recorded.
Not Tech Deck Enterprises.
That would have been more
international.
Funny. Like, how coincidental would that have been? But they listened to the episode, and he made sure to say, what do you got against Tech Deck, man?
That's amazing.
And I'm like, now you guys show us some finger tricks.
The game developer was, that'd be the best.
I want footage of you doing finger tricks with your Tech Deck.
With like explicit anime drawings on the other side of the Tech Deck.
Oh, that would be gold.
That would be so funny.
That would be amazing. Plastic.
All right, we got to get moving on here. So my last track is another absolute classic. This is from Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
Ooh, buddy.
I'm playing the Famicom version. This is Akumajou Densetsu for the Famicom because I want to play the music that used the VRC6 sound chip. So I thought it was really, really cool. This is music composed by Hidenori Maezawa, Jun Funahashi, Yuki Morimoto, also known as the Konami Kukaheya Club, the Konami Square Wave Club.
Ooh,
I'm playing the introduction Prelude music because I think it sounds so cool with the extra sound chip. So check this out. Goodbye, Dracula.
No, this is Hello, Dracula.
Hello, Dracula.
You're just going to visit.
This was the Prelude from Akumajou Densetsu, Castlevania 3 for the Famicom. This is the Famicom version containing the VRC6 sound chip, which contained, I think it was 2 additional square waves, composed by Hidenori Maezawa, Jun Funahashi, Yuki Morimoto. I just, something about this intro music, it's got everything. It starts off kind of quiet, and then it builds, and then it gets dark, and then it's really dark, and then it builds back up into like a really kind of almost a major key, but that last note like lingers.
It's weird though, because
so cool.
Like if you like, lead in for him. Did you play Dracula 3 before, right?
Yeah. So also what I want to say is, like Sonic, I feel like Dracula 3 for me. Castlevania 3.
Dracula 3, Dracula artist.
Yeah, Dracula harder. Dracula nightmare mode. So Dracula, oh my god, I'm doing it again. Castlevania 3 for me, I feel like is Castlevania. Like when I think I'm going to play a Castlevania game, this is the game I think of.
There's a reason why Bloodstain, the retro version, was done in the style of Castlevania 3. We almost all did it. Correct.
We're doing it to each other. We're doing it to each other now.
But
yeah, I love this. So yeah, I've never finished it.
It's hard. It's a hard game.
It's very difficult, but I love playing it.
So the 2 things I wanted to mention. Well, like the reason why I asked if you had played it, like at the very beginning when this intro plays, it's funny to hear this without the game footage because there's like a thunder strike that kicks in.
Yeah,
at just the right time. Like you're like, oh, it feels good. I'm about to go kick Dracula butt.
Dracula butt.
But like it just feels so good. They did a great job with it.
Oh, it's great.
And then the second thing I was going to mention is that I can't remember if it was like when Red Zoom and Pixels chat first started or some other time.
They're talking about the Facebook group.
Yeah, but like I recently played through this game again using the Japanese version because I wanted to hear the music in game.
Yeah.
This game is still really hard.
Oh yeah,
it starts out simple enough. Like I don't have any difficulty.
It's teaching you the rules, teaching you the tools.
But if you take the Alucard route, oh friggin' forget it! Like
it's tough.
They don't even mince words with how brutal. Like, there's that one part where the blocks are falling, and if you don't have Alucard to fly, you have to wait out every block and just chase them up.
Yeah,
and there's a level of just brutal frustration to that.
Castlevania is a mixture of, because like we talk about these other platformers like Celeste and Super Meat Boy. Those are about speed and precision. Where Castlevania is about precision and patience. There's sections that are, and death, but there's sections that are so slow that you really need to take your time. You need to remember. You need to memorize. But I feel like Castlevania 3 not only had the additional playable characters in it, aside from was Trevor Belmont,
Grant Dynasty, Cypher Belnades, and Alucard.
Which is just Dracula backwards. Right? Which is lame.
That makes it magical.
But not only that, but I feel like the graphics were really amazing for the NES at the time, and the music has just got better and better and better. So
Aquarius is still. Wait, is it Aquarius? Yeah. I don't know if that's what it's called, but my favorite track in the game is pretty much the level with the doppelganger on it.
Yeah. Down you hear it in the sewers and stuff too, or like with the water.
With the water stage.
Yeah. Definitely, I love that song. But yeah, hearing the opening introduction music with this sound chip, it sounds new. It sounds completely different, and I like it a lot. You can hear all these different effects that they're able to do with extra voices by almost like echoey sound effects. It sounds fuller and richer. I think it sounds great. I wouldn't say that the entire soundtrack is better.
There's some misses and hits.
Yeah, because of the additional sound chip, but this opening it's really cool. If you look on YouTube, someone did like a remastered version. It's the original, chiptune VRC6 chiptune version, but they separated the stereo so you can actually hear all of the channels more clearly, and it comes out really good. I wanted to play the original for the show, so it's all mono, but it's really neat. But that was a short track, so I'm gonna get into the part of the show we call the bonus round.
Bonus.
Oh, now he's got to walk to the graveyard.
dong, dong, when the gate opens up. Why? That doesn't even do that. It should do that.
Yeah, it should do that.
But it just goes dong.
Well, they couldn't do that because otherwise, with the noise channel or whatever, all they could make was, and they couldn't make like a creaking sound.
Just a thud.
They'd be like. I'm sure that sounded great on the podcast. Anyway, the bonus round's the part of the show where we play covers and remixes and arrangements based on our theme. Pernell, what do you have? I picked a whole new game. Did you pick another game too?
I did.
All right.
I felt this would make an easy place to put this game because otherwise I don't think I would have gotten it in the show because I don't like.
Well, I'm saying the last track of the episode is yours because I didn't pick one.
Thank heavens, because I felt bad for not getting this on the show.
All right.
So this track is from Super Mario World.
Oh, right.
It's the athletic theme Eurotech remix.
Okay, I'm already loving the sound of this.
Oh, you will dig it. And the remixer is a guy who goes by Gokian.
Gokian?
Gokian.
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 Okay, I'm just going to stop now. love that keyboard, man.
This track is really good. It's from Mario World, composed by Gokian, athletic theme.
I like that.
Koji Kondo, before he did those crap tracks from all the new Super Mario Brothers games that I do not like. Anyway, I mean, stop being that guy.
Wow.
So, clarify that real quick. I like the new Super Mario Brothers games. The games are great.
Yeah, the Odyssey?
No. Specifically, New Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, the new Super Mario Brothers.
It was when they were trying to get the retro style back.
Oh, that's right.
In new games. Mm-hmm. But at the same time,
they were multiplayer, weren't they?
Yes,
yeah,
good.
That's good.
But the downside to those games was that for some reason, Koji Kondo got to this vibe where he's doing that thing like, I think I mentioned this on the show before, all the tracks like, wop, 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 wop.
Oh, we were talking about that, yeah.
Wop, wop, like, okay.
Everything's got like a weird wop, 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 wop.
Yeah.
Wop, wop, wop.
Like it sounded good the first or second stage, and then I got very tired of it, and then I bought New Super Brothers 2, and this is one of those cases where a game is really well designed, but I didn't play through it because I didn't like the music enough to care.
Okay, this is also something a little strange. I was not expecting you to pick like a Eurobeat version of a song for the bonus round.
I'm here to surprise.
You're usually here with the heavy metal.
That's right. I had to tweak it up a bit.
You're going to like this one then.
Is this a heavy metal version?
No, but there's more guitar.
Ooh, I do like guitar.
Okay, this is from. Okay, I can't believe I have not played this song on the show, but I did. I picked it for the VGM jukebox because this music is incredible. This is from the game Tower of Heaven, which is a Flash game.
Oh.
It's a really, really good Flash game.
Well, I can't believe this is a Flash game and not butter.
Cannot believe it's not butter. I can't not believe it's not.
I
can't not believe it's not butter. No, it says Tower of Heaven. The game is composed by the artist flashygoodness. I believe is a Japanese composer. I'm not really sure.
Name sounds really familiar.
So this is an amazing soundtrack. It's a fantastic game. It's really short. It's done in like a Game Boy style.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really kind of old school looking. This is I think it's the theme of the first stage called the Full Moon, and this is the Full Moon remix, Luna Ascension, also remixed by flashygoodness.
Some flashy goodness you got going there.
This is one of my favorites. I hope you like it. That was the Luna Ascension Full Moon remix from the game Tower of Heaven, originally composed by flashygoodness and arranged by flashygoodness.
Of course, I just keep hearing in my head like, Alex! Oh, Alex!
Oh, man, so good.
Lunar.
So, yeah, Tower of Heaven is a Flash game in a Game Boy style. Every stage, it's difficult platforming, but not so hard. But every stage has like a law. It's like a Bible law of like, you cannot step on this colored block. You cannot jump on this part, and it gets more and more and more restrictive. And
I like the sound of that.
It gets really hard. And as you're climbing the tower, there's a lot of like hidden secret stuff I never figured out in the game. But the soundtrack is beautiful. It's all chip tunes. So this was arranged with all these new instrumentation. There's a lot of jazzy sections to it.
It's like Final Fantasy Tactics, but not frustrating.
That's right. Yeah, there's different like rules. You cannot use stage.
No fire spells on a stage where you can only hurt the enemies with fire spells.
Yeah, it's lame. But no, it's like again, it's like having restrictions on the gameplay imposed on the player that also tells the story along with it. And it's really cool looking. It's really simple. But the music, these melodies are beyond anything. They make me feel so good just to hear. And this remix is fantastic. But yeah, we switched tracks.
Yeah. Like, God, you did it. It makes me feel so good. Like pure Florida quality orange juice.
It's like just sunshine in a box.
That's right.
And it's sunshine in a Flash game, which I don't know if you can play Flash games anymore, but
I might have to look into this, though.
Yeah.
But you were right, though. We totally did switch tracks.
Yeah.
This is a track that I could have picked easily.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
It has kind of a Falcom sound team kind of thing going on. I think it's the speed and the violins is what gets it for me.
Yes.
But yeah, it's also an executable that you can download and play. So for more information on the bonus round part of our show, go to rhythmandpixels.com. We'll have links to the artists' SoundClouds and Bandcamps and everywhere where you can get the music and support them. All right, thanks for joining us on episode 18-3 of Rhythm and Pixels, our favorite platformers.
And I'll be blunt, this episode was, of all the favorites we did, this is probably easy the toughest one we did.
It was. I was like, there's a lot. I mean, it fixed a lot. Now, there's something interesting that I had a thought that you would have chosen some 3D platformers.
That's the thing. Like, I love 3D. There's a number of 3D platforms I like. Though I guess a number of them are probably more considered to be adventure games. But I think at the end, when I think of like core platforming, it usually ends up being 2D, because when you give access to 3D, you don't get access to some of my favorite elements, which is like the speed aspect of it. It's hard to do a 3D platformer that focuses on speed.
Yes, because it's hard to see what's next or what's in front of you or behind you.
Because you get two types.
A lot of complications there.
Yeah, you get two types. You get the 3D one where you're on a rail and the camera just kind of turns and twists. And while that does work, it still kind of disorients you sometimes when the game's like, now turn right here.
Yeah.
And then the other version of it is full range of motion 3D platforming. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, how it's hard to get the speed element, because you'll find yourself constantly stopping and recorrecting your alignment before you move again.
And Sonic the Hedgehog has been trying so hard to find that good mix of full 3D, kind of half 3D, and how fast can we still make it.
And I think, honestly, Generations nailed it the best, where they basically say, no, we realize the 3D variants need to be a rail, but a lot of dodging and evading, and the ability to change routes as you run through the stage.
Do you think like they made all the mistakes so other developers don't have to?
No, they just kept making mistakes because they just didn't know any better. And whenever you thought they were getting it right, they'd release Sonic Forces again.
Well, I think this might be our last episode for a while now, just where we just our favorite styles of games. But I'm glad we got this one in, because there was some really good music in this one.
Oh yeah, and it's just good to just talk genuinely about just games where the focus is just like, I like these games.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously now we got to focus on what the next episode is going to be. We might have another topic to go with, but at least for now, I'm contemplating the idea like games Rob should play. Yeah. So we can look into trying that, but if we don't get enough emphasis on there or something, We'll focus on. We'll come up with another topic.
There's other great topics we have listed somewhere. I'm sure on your pads of paper somewhere.
I actually have 2 already at home. I already have as an idea for. So we have at least 1 for sure. But it'd be interesting to hear. Be like, oh well, we are going to do the games Rob should play bit. That could be funny.
You come in and it's just the pad is completely filled of just all work and no play. Make Purnell something.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Arpeggio effect.
Arpeggio, Rob the arpeggio.
Oh my god.
That's a joke just for me and you.
Oh yeah. Arpeggio effect.
All right, so before we close out the show, we should say that at the end of June, I think it's June 21st, we will be at Too Many Games. We just confirmed it. We'll be doing the Rhythm and Pixels podcast live at Too Many Games at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center.
Which now has me thinking we need to come up with a good topic for that.
Yeah.
So now it got me thinking.
I think we should make it weird. I think we should make it really weird.
Weird how?
I feel like every time we do a live show, it's always like the history of something, or let's introduce people to this. But it should be like, this is games about glasses. You know?
Games you'd fall down the stairs to.
Yeah.
What? No.
Every one of these games features a bottomless pit. Something like that. So that should be fun.
Games your grandmother would play.
Games about your grandmother.
Oh, that would be very awkward.
Yes, very strange. Very awkward if you found those games. And also, I want to give a shout out to some of my backups. Some games that I didn't pick for this episode. Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that's a good selector.
Tiny Toon Adventures for the NES.
Yes.
Love that one. Fez.
Yeah, you were all about Fez.
Put a lot of time into Fez. And the newer one, Inside. Loved Inside. I almost picked some music from that, but the music is very, very atmospheric.
I feel like I'm very flighty on my alternative picks because, again, there's more games that I've played than I even remember until they're brought up. But off the top of my head, Buster's Hidden Treasure.
Yeah, that was good.
Let me see. Klonoa, any version of Klonoa. Bionic Commando.
Oh yeah,
either regular or rearmed.
Rearmed, I play a lot of rearmed. That was good.
It's a jolly gem. It is.
That one. That's an interesting platformer because you can't jump.
That's right, and it's brutal. We actually, Matt and I'm not sure when he'll have the episode done, but he and I actually did our Purnell and Matt play games for the first time in like a year.
Oh, did you do the original or did you rearm?
We did the original Bionic Commando.
Cool. I can't wait to see that.
Fun fact, we did beat it. It was my first time completing the game.
Oh, no kidding.
I never played through it in its entirety.
Well, if you'd like to get in contact with the show, if you have suggestions about music, topics, or if you are a remix artist, or if you know a remixed artist or band and you want us to get in contact with them, we'd love to talk to them, hear about them, hear from them. Send a message to our email.
rhythmandpixels@hotmail.com.
If you'd like a full track listing from all of our episodes, access to all of our episodes, and access to all the other fun stuff that we're doing on YouTube and Purnell's work on HeyPoorPlayer.com and the SML podcast, go to our website,
rhythmandpixels.com.
Yep. And if you want to check us out on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, it's just Rhythm and Pixels, all one word. On Facebook, there's a group called the Rhythm and Pixels Chat. Go to the website, rhythmandpixels.com. We have links to our Discord server, which everyone's talking to each other. Every once in a while, I'll chime in with a meme.
Every once in a while, I'll pop into. I'm more of a Facebooky guy, but I get better here and there with the Discord component.
If you direct message me, I'll respond, but otherwise, I don't look at it too frequently. Go to youtube.com/rhythmandpixels. You can check out our 24/7 video game music radio station there, playing nothing but 8-bit and 16-bit classics. Also, mixtapes from past episodes and audio from new episodes. So check that out. Lots of stuff there. It's a good time. Again, it's just audio, just music.
Delicious audio.
Just music. And then if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/rhythmandpixels, and you can support us that way too. You get access to a monthly live stream of us recording the show. It's really just us
goofing off with friends.
Goofing off. Yeah, it gets really goofy. That's a lot of fun. You get access to mixtapes of the most recent episodes, usually. And we also like to thank all of our Patreon members at the end of every episode. So starting with that Nick Walker. Alex the Messenger, who has been a lifetime supporter of the show.
He really has.
Yeah, he should get like a medal, like an award.
Well, I need to get into my blacksmithing skills first to be able to pull that off.
He gets like a hunk of just like
here's some iron.
It's just like a square piece of metal. Like this is the special rhythm and pixels metal.
It's meant to represent a square wave, but there's no wave involved. Square.
We'll get in touch with you, Alex. I want to thank Steve Miller
of the band.
The Autistic Gamer 89, Cameron Worma. I want to thank Christopher Shenstrom, Damian Beckles, Bobby Arson of the One Up Funk band. One Up Funk.
One Up Funk.
I feel like I'm describing his band as One Up. The One Up band. One Up Funk. I want to thank Wicked Sephiroth, OK Impala, Carlito, Kung Fu Carlito from the Heroes 3 podcast, Henrik Anderson from the Commodore 64 focused Camouflage podcast, Brian Pitt, Morton Gangso, Chris Marie. How you doing? I want to thank Jupiter Jazz, Solus Sanctuary, Mix 6 Master, John Jekyll, Joe Vasallo, Chris Steenerson, David Smith.
And David Smith.
And the rest.
Here on Rhythm and Pixels.
I'm imagining like a big, like they're all like their own little square looking at each other. But like,
I can't see across that guy. Yeah. Who's over there?
Like, what are you doing over there? How did we end up here?
That better not be a Game Boy.
Did I thank Michael Bridgewater?
You did.
Of the Forever Sound Version podcast?
You did.
Did I actually say that?
You did.
I think I need
Fun fact, actually, he and I are going to do a music swap.
Ooh.
It's happening soon. He asked, he messaged, he did not forget. It's going to happen. So I got to come up with a cool list of tracks that you played that I would play in my car.
Oh, I like it.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to pick some non-VGM for it too, but I'm debating it.
Yeah, I would love. He's got crazy, like his tastes are all over the board. So he loves demo scene and C64 music. I know that's his jam, but he's also obsessed with like hip hop from the American South specifically, and really, really into like I know he's in that punk band.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see what he sends over.
Yeah, so I don't know. His tastes are all over the place. I'm like losing it. I'm really tired for some reason.
Yeah, this is probably the latest we've ever recorded an episode.
Not yet.
I'm the night owl. Rob is not. So you can see how the energy levels are switching.
Yeah, that usually happens. We kind of glide right past each other, but that's okay. So yeah, I think we should plug maybe your next thing with Ed.
Yeah, we could, though I don't know when we're officially recording. But
I'm excited to hear it.
It's going to be a toss-up, but basically, I'm going to be on the VG Embassy, recording with Ed. The topic is going to be shoegaze. Mm-hmm. It's going to be weird, because for those who aren't in the know, this is a weird topic to do for VGM. Like, I don't even think there's been much capacity to have shoegaze-esque tunes. Mm-hmm. Up until like the later years of VGM and the technology being able to encompass it. So it should be a trip. Like, I'm doing my digging, but it should be at least nice to be like, hey, let's discuss these crazy games.
I'm excited about it.
And these tracks that are VGM and not so VGM even. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I like shoegaze, but like you love shoegaze.
Oh, that's my baby.
You like shoegaze.
That's right. I want to marry shoegaze.
It's going to be good.
I want to take shoegaze to the sock hop.
Well, you're going to have a good time. Ed's a great host.
I want to take shoegaze home to meet my mom and dad.
You're taking shoegaze home to meet your dad, Ed?
Yes.
Ed's like, here's that shoegaze. You're gonna have Pernell back by 10?
And of course, shoegaze is going to go, oh, my dad's just going to just look down at the floor and just go into a trance, and then I'll be home 10 hours later.
10 hours later, like, what happened?
How'd I get here?
It was a great dance. All right, well, thanks for listening to the show. Rhythm and Pixels. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
Have a safe week. We'll see you next time.
And remember, failure.
What?
It happens. It sucks. No one looks forward to it. No one wishes to experience it, and nor should they. Failure blows. And yet, at the same time, it's going to happen because no one's perfect. Nothing is set in stone, and nothing will always go as you want it to go. That goes for love. That goes for life. That goes for anything worth pursuing. However, one thing worth noting is that if you shy away from failure, one thing you can guarantee yourself of is the fact that you'll never succeed at it either. You have to try. You have to be willing to endure to overcome. And basically learn from those mistakes as well, and just ultimately come out better on the other side. It sucks and it's difficult, but you got to keep going.
This is actually a topic I'm really passionate about.
Yes.
Like, you have no idea.
Oh.
Like, failing is like the acronym is.
There's an acronym for failure?
Fail. It's first attempt in learning.
I like that.
Yeah. And the for people who do agile software development, it's all about failing fast, quickly, so you learn, do the next thing.
Yeah, buddy.
Don't look back. Well, I mean, you look back. You learn from it.
Honestly, this was one of those where I needed my darn self. But
so think about that.
Looking at work, looking for love, looking for cheat codes. Everything is just coffee.
Yeah, just got plug away, man. Plug away.
And that goes for all the listeners too. We'll get it. We'll knock it out together. Keep at it.
We're here for you. We're here for you.
Better believe it.
We're here for you. All right. Good night.
Good night.